What do you get when you combined alcohol, nerds, and a complete lack of focus? Hello, and welcome back to the Sardonic Podcast. I am your host, Elijah Stubbs Roche. Joining me on the docket this evening are two of my favorite nerds. It's Jake Midas Barger and Tristan D. Laws from GreenOrkzGaming. How are you two today?
I'm doing spooktastic. Thank you, Eli.
It is the
good,
last
dude.
day of October, and I didn't let Tristan introduce himself. Let me recant here, because I've clearly lost my touch at this hosting shit.
That's okay. I barely noticed I was here too.
Top 10 anime betrayals.
I'm a little out of practice, and I'm recording this right as I woke up, so I'm a little bit out of practice now. I've given many reasons as to why we have not been uploading content. I made a whole apology video. However, let me give you the real reason why we have, we as a collective unit of people have had the world's shittiest upload schedule recently. Because game manufacturers have decided to put all of their goddamn autumn harvest and Halloween events in like the same period of 2 weeks. And it has
I haven't
been...
slept.
It's been overwhelming to try to keep up. Let's go down the list, shall we? What events have we been farming? There was Autumn Harvest in Monster Hunter World.
There was the Pustula Petals and Dead by Daylight, their Halloween event.
And then, of course, it's World season, so they have the World's events going on for League of Legends. So that has pretty much been every single spare moment of life that we've been able to muster in our pathetic existence.
Not to mention school and work.
Which never stop. Trying to be a gamer and be a human being with a life and a job and school is like it's probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my entire existence.
At least during the holidays.
Especially during the holidays. So, it is fall season, and I live in Colorado, which means that it sucks. Like every climate piece sucks in Colorado. That's just the nature of Colorado climate. It's always shit. It doesn't matter. Summer day, it's too hot and dry, and windy. They'll do that too. And in the middle of fall, it's actually at its worst because you never know when the random hot day is going to come, and you really hope it doesn't come right after a day where it rains after the leaves fall. Which is exactly what happened this year. Here in Colorado, the leaves fell, then it rained, and then it was a 90-degree day. It's like, oh wow. Could you fuck me harder there, huh?
So what, are like all the leaves just like moisty dry or whatever?
Oh, they're all moldy now.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Probably.
So, you all hail from Utah, if I recall correctly. How is fall treating you there?
I live in the basement. It's fucking cold.
Well, I mean, he's not wrong. It is cold everywhere else. But it's weird in Utah because it starts out really cold in the morning and gets really hot in the afternoon.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
One of those.
The last couple of days have just been cold through and through.
That's about the sign. Usually Halloween has to have shitty weather. But I've come to a wonderful place though, because now that the leaves are a giant moldy pile of shit, I don't have to take care of them. I'm just leaving them there, which is not what you're supposed to do. That is the opposite of responsibility, but I don't give a shit. I'm just leaving them there.
That's okay. The spiders need someplace to live.
And
fuck the spiders.
And that's a little... It's weird because when I was a kid, I used to love the leaves. Like, leaves were great. Because...
you didn't have to clean them up.
No, I still had to clean them up. That's the thing. It's just that when you're a kid, everything is fun. Like, it's not a chore. But now I'm an adult, and now it's a chore. Now I don't get to have fun with it, because if I have fun with it, then that's not mature. When I was a kid, we had a trampoline, and we put fucking leaves on it. We put all the leaves on the trampoline, and you jump in the leaves. It was fucking awesome. You think it doesn't sound very cool, but like the leaves, like the crunch sound they'd make when you'd like fucking cannonball onto a trampoline was the most satisfying
I know the
feeling.
feeling.
It's fucking way more fun than it had any right to be. And also, when I was a kid, I didn't have to do the lion's share of the work. I'd rake like a little bit of it and then throw it onto a trampoline. Now that's not the case. Now I have to haul like giant fucking things of leaves onto a truck down to I think my dad takes it to the landfill. I don't know. I also don't leave my basement unless I'm getting food or going to school and work. So I have no idea how my actual house operates. I'm that much of a stranger to the goings on of my own home. But Tristan, you were highly interested in my leaves comment here on the session notes, which was incredibly barebone. I want to hear your feedback on this, because it sounded like you had some leaf stories yourselves.
So I remember when I was little, at one point, I don't know how old I was, it was a while ago. I'm pretty sure someone didn't clean up the dog poop in the backyard before I took a big old dive into a pile. That wasn't fun.
I have a dog poop story too, actually. This was also pretty funny. So I have a deck that's like 1.5 feet off the ground, and there are steps that like lead to the ground, which make it easier, but I don't take them because I'm not old enough to need them yet. And so I do my usual thing. I'm strutting about like I'm the king of the fucking world, because that's just how I walk. And I kind of do this little hop into a sprinting motion off of my deck, right into fresh dog shit. And I fucking eat shit on the ground so hard. I slipped. You would have thought I had jumped onto a solid block of ice with how I slipped on that stuff. Just boom, fucking full contact with the ground.
It's like a banana peel.
Yeah. Oh, and
smellier.
it made my brother laugh his ass off when he saw it. So my uncle was there too, so we got to see that.
Jake, I would
what,
laugh too.
What about you? How does the tedium of fall catch up with you?
Well, luckily, after we moved years and years ago, I no longer had a tree to rake up leaves after. But when I was a little man, a much smaller version of myself, there was an apple tree. Well, I believe it or not, I used to be nice.
Yeah.
But there was an apple tree in our backyard. So we didn't get to rake up the leaves and jump in them, because rotten apples are disgusting.
Oh, God. I actually know your
feelings
that's
on
my
that one
leaf
too,
story. Actually. Because I also have an apple tree in my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
That fucker has been back there for almost a decade now, and I swear to God, it's produced like maybe 4 apples in its whole lifespan.
But we used to get apples. It was just
tree.
You don't get all of the apples. You get a whole bunch of fucking rotten apples fall off the tree this time of year.
Yeah, no shit, right?
And then you just, you're sad, and your dog is sad, and your friends are sad,
it's fucking...
and your life is sad.
So I have a legitimate reason now that I don't go out back anymore. So here's a fun fact for all the people watching this. I am fucking mortified by birds. Like, unrealistically scared of birds. I can't function in the presence of birds, no matter what they are.
Like, even seagulls?
Especially seagulls. Actually, especially ostriches, but I also don't like seagulls. I hate
Nobody likes seagulls.
All of the bird-like creatures. I cannot. I fall into a fucking weeping mess. And my parents decided to get chickens. So, birds that don't fly, like the ones that stay on the ground with where I am at. So, I'm pretty certain I haven't gone out back in like 2 years. I just
You
don't.
sure they're still there?
I hope they're dead. I really hope they're dead. I
Eli
hope all of
shit
them are
hasn't
fucking
been feeding them.
dead. You bet your ass I haven't been feeding them. I don't even turn the light on for them when it's winter.
Oh,
If my mom
poor
and dad
things.
aren't here to take care of those things, they're fucking dead.
I feel
I'll
bad
tell you that.
for
Right?
those pre.
Fuck those chickens. Fuck your sympathy for those chickens, you piece of garbage. Liking birds.
All right.
At least
All right,
birds
so we
taste
know
good.
we know what to dress up as for Halloween when we come over.
I swear to God, I will fucking set your costumes on fire with you inside. I fucking hate birds, dude. You have no idea.
So is that why you hate Swain so much in League of Legends?
No, I hate Swain because I suck with him since his rework. But
Dude, that's why he doesn't play Anivia.
yeah, no.
Crew, stop it, Patrick. You're scaring him.
Oh, you weren't there for the fucking. Here's one for you, Jake. I was playing an ARAM game. I got to play full AP Nunu, and the enemy team had an Anivia, who spent the entire game walling every single time I was rolling a snowball at them. So just eat the snowball.
Even more reasons to dislike birds.
No, I'll tell you the story because there is a reason I hate birds. When I was a young child, I used to live in California where they have ostriches, which are like fucking insane birds. I don't know if you have stories about ostriches, but ostriches are fucking assholes. Like, let me just get that very clear here. Ostriches are pieces of shit. They're endangered, so you can't legally kill them, I've been told. But if I could, I'd fucking strangle each and every one of them. Break their fucking necks.
You missed
with
your
my
callings
hands.
during the Emu Wars.
Dude, I would have fucking single-handedly won the Emu Wars. If they ever have it again, I will move. I'll become an Australian citizen to take part in the second Emu Wars if that ever happens.
So wait. Let me get this straight. You'll move to somewhere with more birds to fight some ostriches.
No,
I'd
emus.
bring the power
Or
of
emus.
American military might to Australia for the purposes of winning the second Emu War.
I get the feeling Eli would glass a continent to kill a species of birds.
Bet you should I would.
You know, we actually have a bird, and I totally agree. Birds are assholes.
But
Yeah,
ostriches
I was at the-
especially. So I was a small kid at the time, and I have the scar still on my head from it. A fucking ostrich picked me up by the head and ran off with me. Just fucking straight up. I was like 3 years old at the time. It's like one of my first memories is just being picked up by a fucking ostrich and having it run away with me. Fucking hated that shit. Ugh.
Fantastic.
So, enough about my crippling fear of birds, and back to the season of fall. How is it? Is it cold as shit where you guys are at right now?
I wouldn't say as shit, but it's cold.
I've been watching the weather. It's having around 50 degrees during the day.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right. That's about where I'm at here.
That's Fahrenheit for those of you who are wrong.
Don't worry, I'm blocked in most European countries. So you will only be getting Imperial system here, my friend.
Good.
Sweet, glorious Imperial system.
I hate the Imperial system. I wish we'd switch to metric, but
You and everyone else.
it's fucking built on the system of tens. Tens are so easy to do everything with. So
Everybody loves tens.
we're recording this today on Halloween, which I should probably not admit to the fact that I totally called into school yesterday claiming that I was recording this yesterday when I was actually recording your guys' Halloween stuff. And since I'm all about shamelessly plugging myself, I'll tell you to go watch that video. Because I'm in it.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, look at that. I stole your shameless plug right from underneath you.
Just less work for us to do.
Fair enough. Halloween, though, it is a great time of year. My brother fucking loves Halloween way more than I do. And it's kind of a weird thing. It's not that I hate Halloween. I really do like Halloween too. But my brother, he fucking loves Halloween. Like, this shit is his holiday. He's the one who sets up the decorations in the house. He's the one who always has, like, some weird fucking costume that he's been working on. Like, he is a Halloween aficionado, and I'm just kind of here. I do things on the Halloweens.
Yeah, I
But
can see that.
I want to ask you too, starting with you, Jake. What is your favorite part about Halloween?
Candy.
Candy. You can't go wrong with that. What about you, Tristan?
Well, I do like the chocolate as well. I feel like I loved Halloween a lot more when I was little, when the candy was free. But it still is pretty great. My favorite day is actually next month, because that's when candy goes on sale, when they have to get rid of all the candy they didn't sell.
Ah, yes, November 1st. The real holiday.
That's the adult version of Halloween.
It's like the Black Friday of Halloween. I was about to say the Black Friday of November, but
I would
There's
say
a problem with that statement.
Yeah, I would rephrase that. I love the whole Halloween season, but specifically my favorite part of Halloween is that it's the one day where, whether you're a nerdy girl or a thought, everyone dresses slutty. And I can get
Even
down
me.
with that. Especially me. Fucking... I have to be careful with how I phrase that, because I had that whole tangent about how I don't objectify women when I was talking to Joanna. that really does make me sound like a piece of shit. Maybe those feminists sending me death threats have something. Maybe they're onto something with that.
yeah, no one's forcing these women to dress like sluts.
You can't let them get you down.
I mean, I don't. Frankly, some of them are hilarious. Like
This is a bit off topic.
like the one who sent me the mail with like it was just a picture of her holding a knife, but it wasn't like it was just her hand and the knife, and that was just the whole thing. That was just the whole message. There's no like text put with it or anything. That's just all it was.
Literally just the girl holding a knife.
Yeah, just that the only thing that was there, and I just thought, cool knife. Is this a veiled threat? Like, do you just assume that I'm smart enough to figure out that you're threatening my life? What if
Maybe
I was
she's
a
trying to
fucking
sell you.
idiot? Which is very possible with all the things I say. And I just thought maybe she's trying to sell me a knife. It looks like a nice knife.
Yeah, it's like just trying to sell you a knife.
But yeah, no, I love Halloween. I love Halloween. I love slutty costumes. That really does paint me in a bad light. I really need to cut this out of the video later, Elijah. Do that. When I send this to the editor, cut this whole conversation out.
Note to future editor: do not cut this out.
But besides that, I actually do like dressing up for Halloween. I'm not doing it this year. I'm fat. I'm lazy. I didn't feel like it. I suffer from depression. And any costume I put on would probably look like that.
Well, just go with the low budget costume.
I was thinking about being a clown. Because that's basically what I am.
Yeah, but then you have to be the clown from Dead by Daylight because you're fat.
Yeah.
That's a low-hanging fruit, Jake.
I know.
It is.
But he's seen me now in real life. He knows what I look like. But it's okay.
I mean,
because
for
I
what it's
have
worth-
his headshot still.
For what it's worth, you would be the scariest clown.
Yes. Yes, I would. Because I have the geometry of, like, the facial geometry of a person who's fucking depressed and off-kilter to begin with. So clown makeup will just make it better. It's hard
Speaking
to
of
tell in that
clowns.
video, but like my left eye kind of like droops. Like it looks like I had like a stroke on the left side of my face. So it's like asymmetrical and shit. It actually happened from when I took a blow to the head. But
Does this have more to do with the birds?
no. That has more to do with alcoholism. But that's not a conversation for today. That's a conversation for gin and tonic a therapist, and maybe a paid consort later.
You just can't help yourself, can you?
I know, I'm really on a fucking roll today with the whole making women hate me thing, but yeah.
Might as well go all out.
Yeah, I feel like once you've dropped the I love the slutty part of the day thing, you kind of may as well just go all out from there. No need to parse your shit at that point.
When you dip into offensive, you gotta go all out to hilarious, or it's not worth it.
Yeah,
anyone who's seen Eli's load order is not surprised by this conversation.
If at any point the women watching this don't realize that I'm joking about parts of this, then you probably aren't people who'd like me anyways. I just have to keep going with the sexism until one of these jokes lands and is funny. Then all the other ones are excused. But until then, we're just gonna load it out. But it's a funny thing you mentioned that, Jake, because I do have this phrase that I throw around, which is that you can tell a lot about a man by looking at what his Skyrim mod load order looks like. And you can just know that by looking at my Skyrim mod load order, exactly what kind of man I am. And I'm not going to give you any context as to that. I'm not going to explain, not going to put anything on there. I'm just going to leave that as it is.
Use your imagination, people.
Yeah, you're going to need to. There's some weird ones on there. But I want to talk about costumes. I always loved costumes. I love dressing up for Halloween. And so let me explain. As a kid, my mom would always make my costumes for Halloween. I never bought costumes growing up. My mom would make them. I was also not allowed to dress up as anything scary. Those are the two rules I had. So no scary, and we didn't buy it. So I have pictures of all my costumes. But there was a year where my mom made me and my brother dress up. I was Woody from Toy Story, and my brother was Buzz Lightyear. And I wish I had that picture still. I don't know where that picture is, but I want that picture back. Because that was a great picture. Because my brother looks fucking miserable. Oh yeah, my mom's great at making costumes.
Wait, which one was he?
He was Buzz Lightyear.
Well, as a child, I had the opposite. No one in my family made shit. So I was Darth Maul from the time I was 4 till the time I was 8.
No, that's how it goes.
I had the exact opposite from both of you. No one in my family made or bought costumes. I had to do it myself.
So he went as a garbage can.
I thought it was a knight.
Oh, wait, no. No, I actually did go as a ninja 4 times.
That explains way too much.
Yeah, actually it does. Kind of puts things in perspective right there.
Okay, but I also was a fireman once because I found a hat, and that's all I had to go with. I think I used a raincoat too. I don't remember.
I think you came to my house once and my parents felt bad for you, so they gave you extra candy.
Actually, yeah, I remember that.
Let's see. So there was Woody and Buzz Lightyear. I was a ragdoll once. I think the first one that I really remember was Neo from The Matrix. I was back when I was younger and thin. Before I became a fat piece of shit that I am today. I had one year I got to be Neo from The Matrix. My mom made the outfit and everything. It was the whole setup at the sunglasses. No one at school knew who I was.
I wouldn't expect.
I haven't even seen The Matrix.
You are a piece of garbage.
I mean, it's not like they're great, but they are a cultural icon.
I know, and I don't know why I haven't seen. I haven't seen a lot of things.
Do you understand that The Matrix destroyed an entire genre of movie?
No.
Like the 80s action flick with the Arnold Schwarzenegger era of action movies. The Matrix ended that shit.
Was it Was it bad?
No, it was
Or good?
amazing. The first Matrix movie is one of the best action films ever made. It had great fight choreography and really good story, intricate characters. It killed the very simplistic action movies of the 80s.
That makes
Like
sense.
with a butcher knife.
Yeah. But we'll get to the destruction of life in movies later. So, do you have any great trick-or-treat stories? We'll start with Tristan on this.
I remember when we were actually in high school, Jake was there for that, but there's a headless horseman guy just walking a horse in the middle of the street. For no reason, said nothing, just kept walking.
That dude was fucking fantastic.
I know, like, what the fuck? Also, I think that was the same year your parents gave me extra candy.
It was. We were also 17.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of other trick-or-treat stories, I got a potato once.
You fucking serious?
Yeah, someone gave me a potato because I was too old to go trick-or-treating. So he's like, here, have a potato.
You got a fucking potato.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's not like I was that old. I was like 15.
Wow.
Which is funny that they thought you were too old, because when you were 15, you still look like 12.
To be fair, we were trick-or-treating until like 9:30, so people probably got annoyed.
Oh my god, 9:30.
I know.
Wow. Dude, I was up till like 11 when I was 8 for fucking Halloween.
Really?
So,
I have bad parents.
I have this really fucking... So my neighborhood are shitty with trick-or-treaters. Half the houses don't give out candy, and the houses that are there give out fucking raisins. If you give out raisins for Halloween, expect your house to be egged and TP'd. Like that, if you give a kid raisins, go and fucking choke on the cardboard box they come in. It's Halloween. Put your fucking health food away for one day.
Yeah, think of all the ghosts you're offending.
So, my neighborhood's real shitty with Halloween and trick-or-treaters. And it might be because I live within a block of a church and an elementary school. So kids are not allowed to go out. Or else the school and the church get on people's cases. And so what I would do is I'd do what any smart kid would do. I went to other people's neighborhoods to go trick-or-treating. My friend's neighborhood was great with trick-or-treaters. We go there every year. The first year that we went, I was John Lennon from the Beatles. And specifically, I was John Lennon from that rooftop concert that they did at the end of their career. Yeah, that specific look.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I only don't understand it because Simpsons made a joke about it.
I feel like you've offended many people who watch my channel with your lack of knowledge of the Beatles.
Dude, the Beatles fucking suck.
Yeah, I don't want to get into it, but Jake really hates the Beatles for some reason.
I don't hate the Beatles. They're just bad music.
All right, editor.
I personally like them.
So, yes, I was John Lennon that year. We were trick-or-treating. And this is what my friend taught me, the magic of stealing. So, some people have make the decision that instead of just having someone answer the door and give a piece of candy to the kids, they just leave the bowl on the front porch. Now,
not a good idea.
I am not condoning stealing any more than I condone lying, even though lying will solve 99.99% of your problems. Case in point, look at yesterday. But what I am saying is that if you leave candy on the front porch and expect kids to not steal the fuck out of it, maybe you're the idiot. Maybe you're in the wrong.
Is it really stealing, though?
I mean, if they leave a sign on it that says "Take one" and I just dump the bowl in my bag, then kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took one bowl. What's wrong with that?
I just took the bowl too.
Here's where this story particularly gets funny. Because we were doing this, because many people in his neighborhood do this, by the way. Like, one person gives out video games for Halloween. Just to give you an idea. He lives in like a rich neighborhood where they like to flaunt how rich they are. So, if your costume's good enough, one old man would give kids video games for Halloween.
Lucky.
And so one day we were going to one of those houses that had the bull sitting on the front porch, and we were doing our thing, and just taking large handfuls and putting it in our candy bag. And then the person who lived in the house walked out front while we were doing that. And now you have to make it look like you're not stealing.
What you do is say your 17 siblings are on bed rest right now because they couldn't make it out for Halloween.
I did something much better than that.
He ran.
Lied. But I put on a damn good show about the lie. Because I made it look like my friend was the only one stealing. And then reprimanded him as we walked away. And once the person had gone back inside, I explained to my friend that it was all an act. It was all smoke and mirrors to confuse him.
In all reality, he could have just been like, whatever, old man, just walked away. No, he wouldn't have done anything.
Probably. I absolutely hate the idea of being caught doing anything wrong, but I'm also a really bad liar. So that's always really that's a problem. Now I've learned is that broadcast is a lot about lying. Going to school for broadcast, I've learned that mantra of be true to yourself is a load of horse shit. Lie about yourself and everything that you do until you've been met with some level of success. Then the truth.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. There's some truth to that shit. I wouldn't have been hired by my boss if my application was full of truisms.
Can confirm.
Yeah. But Jake, what about you? Do you have any fun trick-or-treating stories?
Aside from when Tristan and I were 17 going trick-or-treating, because that in and of itself is kind of a joke. When I was a wee lad after my Darth Maul phase, I was... The character doesn't have a name. It's a fucking cowboy. Get over it. But I had one of those wooden little stick horses that they give kids to pretend they're cowboys. But I was too old and too cool for this horse stick cowboy thing. So, without knowing that I was supposed to bring it back because it was not ours, I threw it on a roof.
Fuck this.
I then had to explain to a man at 10:30 at night why I needed to climb on his roof for a toy horse.
How old are you?
I was 9 or 10. So the conversation went a little... He did not know me. But the conversation went a little like this. Excuse me, sir. I misplaced my toy horse on your property and need it because I'm borrowing it for my costume. He asked where it was, and I said, well, it's on your roof. And he deadpan stared at me and pointed me to a ladder. I do not like ladders. This is something most people know about me.
All right, now that I'm dressing up as for Halloween.
It's not like your favorite birds. You see, I'm a large, tall man. So the idea of being even more precariously balanced above the ground is already terrifying to me.
So it's a rational fear.
I'm not afraid of heights. I'm afraid of ladders, particularly because I fell off many ladders in my life. So I'm climbing very slowly up this ladder, and I can hear my dad and this stranger snickering the whole way up.
Oh, that's great.
God. I have another.
Yeah.
Another one. So the best place to trick or treat in my neighborhood is actually not in a neighborhood. It is downtown. Downtown Loveland, which has become a nicer and nicer place over the years. It's not the same revamp that Colfax got down in Denver, because Colfax went from having like the prostitute capital of America to a reasonably nice place to live. But downtown Loveland has been revamped very nicely. And they do an event where you can go down, you can trick or treat in all the stores, and they'll give out stuff and candy and things like that. And so my costumes were always amazing, and my brother's costumes always kind of sucked. So I'd get more candy. This is just the way of things. That changed as we got older, but at least in the early stages of life, this was how it was. And my parents did that thing that parents do that drives older siblings fucking crazy, which is we want things to be fair. So they dump all the candy into one big pile and divide it evenly. It's like, alright, well, I guess my hard work meant nothing. You fucking dicks.
Fucking socialists.
Fucking, that seems kind of communist to me, but whatever. I hate that shit. If you are kids watching this, and let's be realistic, I swear a lot, so you probably are kids if you're watching this.
You shouldn't be watching this.
Shame on you.
If you're a kid watching this and you go trick or treating and somebody suggests to you, like one of your friends suggests, that they dump all the candy into one big pile and distribute it evenly, those people are communists, and you need to deport them from American soil. Now that I have also made an enemy of the entire left with that trigger word.
You know, see, if they had lied and got more candy from the bowl, they wouldn't be in this situation.
Exactly. Hey, Mountain Dew, you hear that? Please sponsor me. There we go.
Instead, you get a cease and desist letter.
You wouldn't be shocked. I really wouldn't. I think I actually did get a cease and desist letter from Verve over the joke I made in my anime video.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know. I don't check my email, so they could have sent it to me, and I'd just be like, fucking, I wouldn't know. I am the hardest person to get a hold of. This is a fact. And this is horribly off topic, but I'm going to put it up here anyways. My boss loves how good I am at working. He hates the fact that he has to use Indian smoke signals to get my attention. Because he does not... He has called me and I don't answer my phone. I don't respond to text messages. My phone is a thing that plays music in my car when I drive places, and is the backup Discord option when I'm in class. Yeah.
Those of you who think that's untrue, it's not.
Yeah, shit, you guys have been there. Like, the times where I'm in class talking to a teacher and I have Discord on and I'm talking to you in the background.
Yeah, I keep trying to get him in trouble, but the teacher never seems to hear me.
And I think the best part of it is, too, is that because you guys get to see, like, two totally different sides of me through that little motion. Because I act like this when I talk to you guys. I'm casual and a little flamboyant and kind of a dick. But, like, when I'm talking to the teachers or my classmates, I'm very cordial and polite to all of them. It's very different than how you normally see me.
In other words, if you ever see Eli in real life, do not believe a goddamn thing he says or does.
I mean,
If
I did
possible,
say earlier.
throw birds and run away.
It's possible to...
Throw birds. Fucking. I really do. I will fucking... I would probably kill a person if they released a bird on me.
Release the ostriches.
Let me put it this way.
I want my tombstone to read worth. I'm gonna go buy some birds.
Let me put it this way. Because I'm gonna be a groomsman at my brother's wedding. If they have like birds or pigeons or doves or whatever the fuck people have at weddings, I won't do it. I really won't do it. Listen, I know it's the happiest day of your life, man, but if you put birds at your wedding ceremony, I'm gonna be in the next state over. I'm a fucking sip mimosas in the mountain range, not being there. That shit would
He'd sooner
kill me.
pierce his dick than have birds at the wedding.
So I'm guessing you really hate geese, then, right?
Yep. I need a third opinion on something real fast.
Geese are assholes.
All right.
Cheswick, who is being introduced in this episode halfway through, I need your opinion on something.
All right.
What is the best Halloween candy to get while trick-or-treating?
Are we talking full size or not?
Wait. I didn't tell you what the stakes of this question are. There is a correct answer, and there's a wrong answer. And then there's everything in between. Understand that if you pick the wrong answer, you're out. And this will be the shortest introduction of all time. So, what is the best candy to receive for Halloween?
I have to go with Butterfingers.
All right, that's wrong. Bye, Cheswick.
It's been nice having you, Cheswick.
Bye.
No, I'm joking. That's actually somewhere in between. The only wrong answer for this are those little coconut ones. What are they called?
Almond Joys?
Almond Joys. If you like Almond Joys, you're wrong because coconuts are disgusting.
Wait, what about raisins?
You're wrong.
Raisins are not candy.
Oh. Okay.
Therefore, the question is void.
Exactly.
Actually, I don't like those old people.
All old people candy sucks. And it's really bad because I work in a retirement home. So they love giving out old people candy. And then there's the German who likes giving out German chocolate to everybody.
That guy sounds awesome.
He got me drunk on the job one night. I liked him.
Seriously, how are you still employed?
So,
this has been the most tangented goddamn episode we've ever recorded.
Well, he's still employed.
Well, that's because I wrote my session notes yesterday, and these are really like creating wonderful segments for me to talk about things. Thank you, power of editing. I'll remove that later. So, yes, with the back in the saddle again and Halloween, I'll now kick the question to Tristan and Jake, starting with you, Tristan. What is the best Halloween candy?
Either Kit Kats or those big crunchy bars.
You were closer than Cheswick was, but you're not there yet. Jake?
It's Reese's.
Okay, well, he's
hands
wrong
down.
too.
It's Reese's. No, sorry, it's Reese's.
No,
I can defend it with math.
Reese's is a good second.
I will discount you with the power of faith because I have faith that Snickers is the best bar ever made. And also because Snickers is like the biggest like candy you can get from the thing. Snickers are fucking great. And anyone who disagrees with this statement is wrong.
I would have said Snickers as a second, to be honest.
Well, you're still wrong. See, Tristan got close. He picked my third place pick, which is the Kit Kats. Now, it's not that I don't like Reese's. It's that Reese's melt. Like, I never get to the Reese's when it's kind of still cold and has like a hot, like it's still hard. When I get to a Reese's, it's fucking melted shit chocolate at that point.
If they were your favorite, you would eat them first, like a normal child.
You're fucking weird. I don't want to hear your answers.
Or you just do what the rest of us do and, freeze them.
I eat all my Halloween candy in one night. Now, let me explain something about this.
And they already melted?
I want to talk about...
You got some issues.
Yeah. So, I want to tell you about the single greatest argument I've ever had with another adult. And to give you some context, we were arguing very, very passionately. There was a lot of raised voices. I believe I called him a fascist.
Wow.
I think I literally said to him, "You totalitarian piece of shit," was the exact insult that I gave to him.
Who are you fighting against?
I was fighting with a person. I work with him. He's the cook, Matthew, actually. He won't be watching this, so I know that he's not going to care that I gave away his name on the internet.
He's a dick.
So me and him were having an argument. I literally called him a totalitarian piece of shit over this argument. And that is because I like fruit chew candies, and he believes the only true candy is chocolate.
Wow.
There's a
Are
time
we
and a place
talking
for both.
Wow.
Starburst or now and then's? Or now and later?
I do fruit
I will be right
chews.
back. I have to move my car.
You are a sad man, but don't worry. We'll
I
continue
know. I'll
without
be right
you.
back.
So, this is the joy of this. I believe fruit chews are the best candy of all time. Whether it's Starburst, Skittles, and of course the greatest, which are Nerds, which I'm aware is a rock candy. And if you want to fight me about it, go ahead.
I'm not going to fight you about it.
Okay, good, because I'd win. When it comes to sugar delectable sweets, I am the god. I'm also the god
You're
of
not a god.
porn in your own Discord server, so.
This is an undisputable fact.
So I am at least the god in some name. But I love
Hail
the fruit
Elijah,
candies.
full of lace.
I love fruit candies. And I know that this is a problem because I always find Starburst wrappers in my room. Like, it could be months since the last time I had Starburst, and I will find Starburst wrappers in my room. Because that's like that's my depression food. Like, when I'm having a shit day, I go to King Soopers and I buy a fucking bag of Starburst Flav Reds. Which are just the red flavored Starburst.
Wow.
I'm glad I'm not the only one coming down with the coughs.
It's because I'm drinking beer.
Does this happen a lot?
Yes,
What?
yes, it does.
Or are you talking about the Flav Reds?
Yes.
More than I would like to admit. But let's
It
just
happens
say
a
that
lot, folks.
since starting class, I wouldn't be surprised if I put on 5 pounds in Starburst weight. That
So
being said, I
I'm
guess I
in the
could
middle
put
of
this
your
for
argument here because I like the both. I like the chocolate and the fruit snacks, right?
Yeah.
But if I had to pick a side, like you held a gun to my head and told me to choose, I would probably pick chocolate.
Well, that's a damn shame.
Yeah.
Jake, how does
I
it feel
don't
being
get
wrong
to
so
talk
much
in
today?
this argument at all.
Why?
it
Oh,
you?
yeah. Is it because you have diabetes?
No, I don't.
You're drinking beer.
Hi,
Of course you don't.
my name's
Because
Drew, and I have diabetes.
I get the best chocolate in the world.
All right, what I missed?
We're talking about
we're talking
chocolate.
about how Eli hates happiness and fun.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, Eli. Was it the birds?
And I would have that best chocolate in the world over fruit chews any day.
God damn it. I guess I am alone in the world.
That
I love
being
fruit
said,
chews. But
there's a-
anytime you put Jack Daniels inside of Swiss chocolate, the fruit
Okay.
chews are going to lose.
Okay, what the fuck are you guys
all
talking
right,
about?
like there's a time and a place where fruit chews will always come out on top, and that is during the day. But at night, the chocolate comes out to play.
Yeah.
You can do with that statement whatever you want, internet.
All right, now I'm going to
Wow.
have to tangent again because I'm on. Now you've reminded me of something. So, to all those who could probably have guessed, I'm a huge anime nerd. I guess my anime episode wasn't enough to put that point home, but I'm going to put it really home today with this one. I'm a fan of the manga Kiss X Sis. Yes, you can judge me. It's okay. I judge me
Judging.
for it. Uh,
I judge you for lots of things.
I'm judging as we speak.
oh God, don't trust me. And the minute you said that, it reminded me of the scene in that where the sister.
I judge you, and I'm a day drinker.
Yeah. And where the sister gets the other sister super drunk so that she can hog the brother all to herself, and then she covers her.
Is that in the karaoke bar?
No. This is the second time it happens, and then she covers herself in chocolate, makes him eat it.
Chocolate. I like.
And
chocolate.
I'm just like, oh my God.
My.
I seem to remember chocolate lipstick in an episode. I don't remember.
Oh
this.
yeah, there's chocolate lipstick. That's because that wasn't put into the anime. Because that was a straight up hentai scene.
They shied away from straight up hentai for Kiss X Sis.
They
God damn, that must have been bad.
that Kiss X Sis is one of those things where once you read it and you come to the same conclusion that everyone else does. You're about 40 chapters in and you realize, wait, I'm a piece of garbage, aren't I? Like, we come to that conclusion 40 chapters in. The main character didn't realize he was a piece of garbage till 119 chapters in. So we're still doing better than he is.
Hindsight's
Garbage.
2020.
Dude, that singular panel where he is sitting there on a bench and says, I'm a piece of garbage, aren't I? It's just like the single most self-aware moment that entire show ever got. Oh my God. Alright.
Is that like the Sakura you're useless moment in Naruto?
Yeah. I think we need to move to the next talking point before I tangent off the face.
Oh,
of
do
the
we get to
earth.
talk about my favorite topic now?
No, I've actually axed that entire segment.
All right, I'm out.
No. So it's Halloween, and that means it's scary movie season. I love slasher. Well, we're just gonna edit that burp out.
Are you okay?
I think you should leave it.
I was trying to sound like really good, really professional, and then like all the Mountain Dew kicks back up like at the worst moment, just like shit. I've ruined every semblance of professionalism that scene is ever gonna have.
I'm only 5 drinks in.
So,
Join me.
So we're talking about scary movies. I'm a huge fan of slasher films. It's been years since I've sat down and watched a lot of them because life.
I just watched all the Halloweens. All of them.
And so I have here a list of classic slasher films. And I didn't know if I wanted to put Saw in here, so we'll figure that out if I have time at the end.
Saw is not a true horror movie, but I'm not gonna argue that point right now.
Fair enough. So we got to start with the quintessential horror film for Halloween, which is Halloween. Get your mic out of your fucking mouth.
That's a really good Darth Vader impression.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
So, I will now unveil to you my big secret.
You're gay?
He's caught the big gay.
Just,
I'm sorry,
just
continue.
the complete seriousness with which you drop that. Damn it.
It shows the piece of crap that you really are.
I'm sorry, continue.
I have not gone to go see the new Halloween movie.
I have.
Not because I didn't want to go see it, but because I just don't have time. And it has really caused a big fucking... Like, let me tell you what I'm really tempted to just do today. I am tempted to go down to class. My school is right next to a fucking movie theater. I am tempted to go down there, sign in that I attended class, skip class, and then go straight to the movies to go see Halloween.
You're doing research for the podcast?
You should.
Dude, I could say that I'm writing a movie review for Stubbs Talks next week.
Yeah,
And
there you
say
go.
I'm researching the point.
I fail to see how this could go wrong. You should do it.
Or just do what I did.
So, since I haven't seen the new Halloween movie, and if you spoil it for me, Jake, I will kill you.
The killer is Michael Myers. Ah, God damn it!
It's okay. The cat is scratching underneath the door, and it's freaking me the fuck out.
Is it a bird?
No, it's not. Just my brother and his not girlfriend, his wife now.
What?
Yeah. They got married.
I feel like this isn't the time or the place for this conversation.
They got a cat, and he's scratching at the door, and it's.
And they're
Okay.
still living with their... Wait. I have no room to talk.
Yeah,
Never
I'm not saying
mind.
there, buddy. You might want to shut up before I tell you on that one.
Let he who lives in a glass house cast the first stone.
It's a lot of fun to cast stones. I like to throw stones.
Their cat is a pleasant enough creature. It's not the worst cat that I've ever seen. But he loves to claw underneath doors. And it's really distracting because the door and where my session notes are posted are right next to each other. So I see them in one line of sight. So every time he claws underneath the door, I just see the little white paws clawing at shit, and I'm just like, get out of here, cat.
Eli.
I don't feed the cat. It's not
It
my
wants
cat.
you to.
I feed the dog. The dog is the one that I feed.
I like dogs.
I like
I like
dogs
beer.
too. My dog is depressed as shit right now though, so he's had a rough one. But back to Halloween. So, the first Halloween movie, I would say, is probably the greatest slasher film of all time.
There's no probably there.
I think that it did more with less than any of its contemporaries. Now, that being said, Halloween as a movie franchise is not the most illustrious thing I've ever seen.
What are you talking about as a franchise? There's only 2 movies.
I'd say that it's fair to say that Rob Zombie's Halloween is not bad.
It would be good if it wasn't Halloween. Why couldn't he just make his own movie?
I don't even think that it's bad as a Halloween movie. I think that Rob Zombie directed the movie that Rob Zombie is good at directing. He is an exploitation type movie director. And I think that movie is still really good. And since
You mean softcore gore porn?
And since I haven't seen the new Halloween movie, so I can't include it in my metrics, I would say that Rob Zombie's Halloween is the second best Halloween movie that exists.
Well, you see, since I have seen it, I'm going to quash that by saying it's the second best Halloween movie that exists. That being said, that might just be my super hard nostalgia boner,
I was about to say.
it remained true to what made Myers scary way back in the day.
And that's what I think is the pinnacle issue with Rob Zombie's Halloween. It's not necessarily that it's a bad movie. It's that the core identity of what makes Myers scary is missing. And he's much more stereotypical serial killer in this regards. I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's bad design.
What makes Myers scary though is that in the original we have no fucking clue what the hell this guy is doing and why, right?
Yeah, he's just killing.
You don't get all that explanation and exposition till the sequels, which really ruins it for the entire series. It's like, well, now it's just a cult dude trying to kill his siblings.
Yeah.
Stupid.
A lot more stupid.
Which is why the new one is good. There's no explanation.
It just goes.
He's just back.
Yeah. And that's the thing about Myers that always was scary. There's a shot in the original Halloween movie that to me was like the best shot in the entire movie. It's when Laurie Strode goes into the room. She sees her friend is dead, and it's got Judith Meyer's tombstone there, I believe. And she like falls over against a door frame, and then creeping out of the shadows into frame, you can see Myers' mask right behind her. This is where Myers proves that he is in fact still an evil within one state because his lunge is weak as shit in that particular moment. He didn't do enough stalking.
We're not breaking
clearly.
this down.
But
he was too slow. He had the Judas tombstone.
Clearly not. He had dropped it. Not in inventory anymore. But that single sequence is probably the best shot in that entire movie. In a movie that I think was actually done with pretty damn good cinematography.
A lot of that movie's suspense is built on its cinematography. Like, you don't have a scary movie unless it's, I can see Myers in the corner there. It's like the scene where she looks out the window and you just see his white mask above the top of the car. There's no reason that should be suspicious to her yet, but you as the viewer get you get the skeeves, you know?
Yeah, you do. Now we could talk at length about Halloween. It's a great film.
The other ones aren't as good.
That's fair. Tristan, have you seen Halloween?
Nope.
Have you seen Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
No. I'm a pussy when it comes to scary movies.
Alright, I know what I'm sending Joanna.
Oh, that's her idea. She wants to watch scary movies tonight.
Oh my god. I would pay
one?
money to know. I swear, I'm gonna call Joanna after, like, tomorrow morning and say, how was the fucking scary movies?
Don't worry, she'll hold your hand through the whole thing.
Hopefully.
I'm sure she will.
But also, the last scary movie I've, like, actually seen, like, fully through was probably Chucky when I was 6 years old.
That's not a scary movie.
It is when you're 6.
No, it's not. It's a comedy.
Child's Play, the first one, was meant to be a scary movie. It wasn't,
though.
I feel like it would be scarier if the... I'm trying to remember... There's a fucking scene where he picks up a hammer and it makes a shing sound.
There are a lot of very poorly matched effects to what's going on in that movie. Let's just... There's a reason it's not on the list.
Like, I distinctly remember a scene where he picks up a hammer and it goes shing as he picks it up.
Do you guys remember in Jurassic Park when they added a sound effect to the guy who played Newman on Seinfeld when he fell down?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like the most out-of-place sound effect ever.
Well, it's like when they added the donk to the stormtrooper hitting his head in Star Wars.
Yeah, but that was like post-release.
Yeah. Alright. So, I don't think I have anything more to speak to Halloween. I think that it's a basic movie that's executed on really well.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen Halloween?
No. Those old ones aren't scary enough.
Well, yeah. That's because they're old. That doesn't mean
they're not new classic. Ones aren't scary.
I know. I have a hard time fixing that craving.
This is why I don't play horror games, because they're not scary. But the old school Halloween is actually fucking scary.
I feel like, Jake, you could probably be scared by Silent Hill. I think that Silent Hill would get you.
The game?
The game.
I mean, it might. Not
the It Doesn't Actually Exist movie?
It's not on the list. It doesn't exist. Those movies are not real.
Do you know what the scariest movie ever is?
Nothing you say is going to answer that question, but sure.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Cake game.
Anyway,
So I think the next
you know,
one on the list.
there's one on this list that's not here. Where's the original Alien? That was a horror.
Oh,
movie.
I loved Alien. That's probably my favorite
I have
series.
a hard time, like, when you add sci-fi onto anything, it's hard for me to separate the sci-fi from the subgenre.
Well, the first one is a straight up horror movie.
And even the second one, I would say.
The second one is Aliens. That's an action flick.
Oh no, sorry. The third one is.
Aliens
Second one
3 is
action.
only a horror movie if you actually liked the first two movies, because then you're just seeing it all fall apart.
So, I did not put Alien on here because I have never seen the whole movie in one sitting. I've
Wow.
only watched it piecemeal.
You know which one is the real horror movie?
Second,
Resurrection.
I actually do not like Alien at all. Like, as an entire franchise.
What about Alien Covenant?
The problem with Alien Covenant is you can only take it as an alien movie if you also take Prometheus as an alien movie.
Yeah.
And there are so many things that end up having to be retconned if you do that.
Mm.
I don't like where this conversation went.
Neither do I. So we'll move on to the next one. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is technically the first of the big slasher films. A lot of people don't know this. It's of all the slasher movies, it was the one released first. And
Also haven't seen it.
Didn't know that.
You didn't
Yes.
Is
Dude,
that why he
Bubba-
was like one of the first Dead by Daylight characters? Like the
Actually,
first,
he
third-
was the
He was
third
like
party. I mean,
he's
fourth
the
or fifth.
second licensed character.
wait, who's the first
Killer.
one?
Myers,
Really?
then Bubba, then Freddy, then Jigsaw.
Okay, that makes sense.
That being said, Dead by Daylight, a lot of its aesthetics were actually taken from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Including the hooks.
Yeah, the whole idea.
The whole
of
idea-
hooks.
The whole idea of the meat hook comes from that scene in the movie where she's trying to pull herself off the meat hook and it's like killing her.
Yeah.
Ugh.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is. I've seen like a few. So. I will say this. I don't remember enough about the original movie to make a good, compelling argument. I do remember the remake with R. Lee Ermey.
Oh my god.
I'm
I don't
glad he's dead and can't hear what I'm about to say, but that movie was not good.
He probably didn't think it was either.
I'm not happy he's dead.
I'm happy he's dead to the point where he doesn't have to think about that movie anymore. I'm
He
not like
didn't think
ecstatic
about that
he's
movie.
dead.
He thought about the paycheck.
But anyways, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I like Bubba as a slasher villain. He's got that nice, adorable, autistic look to him.
Is he really the villain of the story though, or is he just the force behind the villain?
I'd make the argument that you're still the villain of the story, even if you're not the person calling the shots. Look at Darth Vader.
Darth Vader
Well-
was the hero of the entire series.
We're not talking about Star Wars. I don't have time.
Neither do I. I have places to be. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't know. That's one of those those philosophical questions. Is the gun evil if it has sentience?
Can it control itself?
I thought Bubba was just, he thought this was church. He's dressed up in his Sunday best. He's got his chainsaw and his butcher apron.
Oh, of course. Yeah, you bring a chainsaw to church every time.
Bubba
Yeah,
does.
I
you
do.
know?
You
Bubba
never
does.
cut down trees at church?
I do like
Bubba.
Christmas time.
I like Bubba.
I actually fucking. I do want to watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre again now that I'm older and can stomach some of the more gory scenes. But believe
There's
it or
gory
not,
scenes
there's
in it?
actually this is an interesting thing. There's actually, in my opinion, a better horror movie about cannibalism than the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Have you ever heard of a little movie called Motel Hell?
No.
So, my dad is a fucking lover of B-rate horror movies. I have had to watch so many bad horror movies because of him.
Good.
It's painful. It's super painful. And he, we watched one called Motel Hell. And the only reason I'm going to say that it's better than Texas Chainsaw Massacre is because there's more nudity in it.
Always good.
More nudity makes everything better, especially when you're talking about 80s horror. It really lets you know who's going to die first. So...
Premarital sex!
Yeah, that's usually a sign that someone's dead. Speaking of which, and I should probably hurry up before Drew gets any more drunk on this one. Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah.
So, a character who didn't get to make it into Dead by Daylight, a real tragedy in my opinion. That's like Crash and Spyro not being in PlayStation All-Stars.
I know, right?
What about the PlayStation Classic? They're not even on that console.
Yeah, because of fuck Division, but
Well,
we're gonna stop the
Didn't they
tangent
just
on this one.
release the Crash trilogy, though?
Yeah.
And
Oh
the
my
Spyro
gosh.
is
So-
coming out.
So,
Anyways.
Anyway,
we are gonna tangent right up until my fucking 90-minute marker today. I just have this feeling.
sorry.
You're gonna
Friday,
have a lot to cut out.
You think I'm gonna cut any of this out? Friday the 13th.
Better not.
I try to remember Friday the 13th, but I've never actually seen the first movie.
So what I can tell you, if you are a fan of the character Jason, the first one does fall a little short of your expectations if you've seen any of the other ones first. I saw the third one first, which is the one where he actually gets the machete and the mask.
Yeah.
He's not even in the first one. Like, sorry if I'm ruining this for people. It's a fucking old movie. Get over it. But he's not in it. It's his mom killing people. In the second one,
Yeah.
he's wearing a fucking corn sack over his head. And he's killing people with pitchforks and shit. So if you want Jason Voorhees the way people remember him, you kind of got to start with the third one.
Mm-hmm. And I think of all the slasher villains, Jason has been treated the worst. No, that's a lie. Freddy has been treated the worst. But
Jason and Freddy. There was
Jason-
that crossover.
Jason
Oh,
is
God.
probably the
That
second.
crossover is hilarious. Like, if you take it as a comedy, that movie's great.
Oh, it's
Run,
fucking
bitch.
hilarious. Friday the 13th, though, has some of, like, the biggest flops of the horror movie franchise I think I've ever seen. Because Jason X might be
exist.
the dumbest thing ever. That does exist. I have the fucking DVD to prove it.
Doesn't exist.
I have the physical hard copy in the
It
digital
does
age.
not exist.
I have the
I've never
physical
seen it.
copy.
Shut your dirty whore mouth.
Jason X is just like, what the fuck
Although it
happened?
does have the funniest scene
What
in
would
any
happen?
horror movie ever. Actually,
would
two of them.
What if we took an immortal drowned kid, filled him with nanobots, and turned him metal?
Jason
The
in
liquid
space.
nitrogen scene was
Wait,
pretty
wait.
metal.
Are you being serious? Is that actually what
Yes,
it's about?
that is the story.
Yeah.
I should start watching horror movies. That sounds great.
Horror movies, the first horror movie in any horror franchise is usually really good.
Yeah,
and
then
the
it
second
does
one
good.
is watchable. And then
Sometimes.
everything after the second
It
one
goes
is
downhill.
downhill. Now, the only exception to this is actually Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, I think, is good right up until, like, 4. 4 is when it gets off its rocker a little bit.
You know, well, each up until 4, each one was a different movie.
Yeah.
Instead of, Halloween and Halloween 2 are the same damn movie. It's just Michael Myers killing people in different places.
Let me put it to you this way, Tristan.
Season of the Witch doesn't count.
The difference between Halloween 1 and Halloween 2 is the difference between playing against Michael Myers on Lampkin Lane and Leary's Memorial Institute.
Yeah.
You know,
That's-
that sounds like a great description.
That's
It's like Airplane 1 and 2. Same movie. One's in space.
yeah. So I have.
Although he
one
does
on-
kill some sexy nurses in the second one.
That's a shame.
Well,
though.
That's why I personally love Jason X.
Jason
When he's trapped in the hologram, and he's just beating the crap out of the two obviously hot teenagers.
So
Like literally has them both in a sleeping bag, and he's just slamming it on the ground over and over again.
here's a question for you guys then.
Jason X was a mistake.
No, let's talk about mistakes real fast.
Tristan.
So, do you
Oh.
consider the Scream movies horror movies?
Yeah, as intended, yeah. But in actuality, more like it's more thrillery than scary.
I don't watch movies often.
I don't know how to feel about the Scream movies. Because I distinctly remember them being my favorite slasher movies as a kid. Shut the fuck up with whatever you're about to say or think.
I wasn't gonna say anything bad. I was just thinking, like, because I like Scream, but I wouldn't call them great. You know, it's more
Neither
one
would
of
I.
those. It's kind of like Final Fantasy X too. A shit game by all standards, but a fun and a blast to just experience. You know what I mean?
Actually, there
You say
are an
that, but
elite few
Final
of us
Fantasy
that like
X
that
too.
game.
You say that, but I genuinely think that Final Fantasy X-2 fixes the biggest problem I have with Final Fantasy X.
Hot women.
No, Yuna had no character in Final Fantasy X. She was just a collection of character traits that made it sadder that she was going to die.
I mean, yeah.
Oh.
Hey, I never said 10 was a perfect game.
Like,
It's
10
just my
was
favorite.
carried by the fact that Titus had an inner monologue that was directly different from his outer... Fuck it, we're tangenting again. Stop that.
All right, stop, stop.
Son of a bitch. So, Scream. Final verdict. Yes, no. Do we send the movie to Joanna to make Tristan watch it tonight?
No, because he's got to watch Halloween,
Yeah.
and he's got to watch the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
And he
Okay,
probably needs
are
to
they
watch
actually that scary, or
So-
are they just old scary?
No, you need to see them.
You need to see it.
This has nothing to do with how scared you will be. You need to see these movies.
Are they good
And-
though?
And okay, so the original Nightmare on Elm Street is a good movie.
Yeah.
I would say, as far as actual movie making goes, it's got excellent practical effects, and its character, the actual character of Freddy, played by Robert Englund, is the most charismatic monster slash horror
Are you
movie
fucking
villain.
serious?
Bitch.
Alright, so first off, since we're going on the topic of Nightmare on Elm Street, it's the next one on the list here. Practical effects. Are you fucking serious?
Did you the fucking stretched sheet on the wall? You just lean into it.
What
The
about
fuck-
the waterbed?
No. The fucking arm stretching scene. You're gonna try to tell
Yes.
me those are good practical effects?
No,
What about
I'm
the
trying to
waterbed?
say the practical effects are part of the movie.
That was
No,
not
anyway,
good practical effects
what I
at
was
all.
the point I was trying to make is the new Nightmare on Elm Street is not a bad movie. In fact, as far as horror movies go, it's scarier than the original.
It just doesn't have the class, character, or personality that the original had.
Exactly.
Bitch.
So
Uh,
and I know people who like the 2010 remake more, and that's fine. They didn't grow up on horror movies like I did. They don't see the innate issues with it, of it just being kind of gore porn for part of it.
So, we and you could argue about Nightmare on Elm Street all day because we do love that film franchise. It's also a great example of has 15 movies, but most of them suck.
I mean, that's most horror movies. There are 11 Halloween titles. How many of
Yeah.
them are good?
Yeah.
That's a lot. Wow.
Here's a big movie. This is the only horror movie. Okay, there's 2 horror movies. When I was a kid, there were 2 horror movies I wasn't allowed to watch: Nightmare on Elm Street and The Exorcist.
Oh god, Exorcist is scary.
My parents would not let me watch The Exorcist. I
That is
actually
understandable.
only got to watch The Exorcist recently by pirating it online.
So boring.
Did you have to get your parents' permission?
No.
It is not boring.
Super boring. You know what was good? Hellraiser.
Hellraiser shit.
You know what I want to watch? Birdemic.
And
Dude,
so,
the original The Birds is actually kind of a scary movie. To be
Stop
honest.
birds.
I have
Everybody's
one for you.
heard.
So, Jake, do we send Joanna the Exorcist to watch with Tristan?
She won't watch that.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good one since neither of them will watch it. They'll just say they did.
Ah, yes. The cowardice.
That's if their Netflix doesn't work.
Let's.
if
It's on Netflix too.
Is
so,
it?
I believe so.
Is it?
I believe so.
Wow.
I believe it is.
Huh. So, this does bring me, since I'm out of my list on scary movies and have 7 minutes to fill here, there are some I want to talk about. So, as part of Halloween and the many games that me and Jake have had to grind our shit through, God, it's been horrible.
I haven't slept in weeks.
I live in a state where Halloween was yesterday, so
I am emotionally distraught over the amount of gaming I've had to do with Jake over the past 2 weeks.
Are you distraught because of the amount of gaming or the fact that it was me?
A little of column A and a little of column B.
Understandable. Do continue.
So, we've been playing through it, and the League of Legends Halloween skins came out. They were okay.
Yeah, kind of a low year.
Bewitching Janna is basically just sexy redheaded Janna in a witch costume, which Janna is
It's literally the Morgana skin from last year, but on Janna.
I honestly feel like Janna is low-key like the most sexualized character in League of Legends.
I thought it was Sona.
No,
Those are obviously sexualized.
Yeah, like
Janna is just quietly sexualized.
all of Janna's skins are sexy.
No, Sona is quietly sexualized.
There's nothing quiet about that.
Oh, I get it.
Oh, you're a bad man.
So Janna's like all her skins are sexy. Like even the ones who I don't feel need to be are sexy. And it doesn't make any sense. So that's one that came up. There's the Trick or Treat Echo. They fucking love making Echo skins.
I'm not impressed with Trick or Treat Echo.
I would like it if they had chosen a different color palette, because all of his skins are green. Like literally all of his skins except for his one skin, the Desert Wraith one.
The original that
green.
came out is yellow, and now everything is green.
It's fucking Project is green, the school one is green, and now the Trick or Treat one is also green. It's like there are other colors that exist.
Yeah, not to mention, at least this one has updated effects and isn't just a reskin with the same effects.
Yeah, well, Project had reskinned effects too.
Well, yeah, but they were just recolored.
Fair enough. So that was a little disappointing. And then, of course, there's Count Caligula, which is debatably the best of the 3 Halloween skins, and would have been great, except that me and Jake had this conversation about Kled and Kled skins.
Kled needs more skins?
No,
Kled doesn't need skins. His base appearance is a hamster riding a dinosaur charging into battle.
wearing a Confederate
Totally needs
uniform.
more skins.
Wearing a Confederate uniform! How do you get more better than that?
Like, where do you go from there, from a design standpoint? Like, and Count Caligula is fucking great. He's literally the Count from Sesame Street riding a fucking werebat.
Yeah, it's a perfect skin, but why would I use it over the Confederate hamster riding a dinosaur?
With a shotgun.
Then there's the Chocobo one. The Final
that one-
Fantasy character.
That's just a bad skin.
That's not a very good skin.
The best part about that skin is making the tinking noise by spamming his emote.
The thing is about Kled is that you have to create skins that are almost as crazy as he is, and that skin just feels too safe. But since we're talking about Halloween skins, I want to ask everyone their question, or my words. I'm not even drinking yet. What is your favorite League of Legends Halloween skin?
That's deep, man.
Morg.
I feel like Morg's is more of a sexy skin than a Halloween skin, though.
Yeah, but I like Morg.
I mean, I believe I literally said that Janet is just the Halloween skin for Morgana a few years ago. But with Janna. I guess she does have glasses.
She has like she has like Lily Pichu glasses.
Yeah.
Tristan, what about you? What's your favorite Halloween skin from League of Legends?
Halloween skin?
Yeah.
Oh. Shit.
He's
been a while since I
he's
played
Googling
League.
it right now, I bet.
No, I'm actually not. I'm trying to think. Wasn't there a Morgana?
I mean,
skin
if I wanted
Is everyone
to...
gonna pick Bewitching Morgana?
No,
Well,
no. I
Is
want
it
to
I'm
because
say
her
not.
tits are in screen?
I'm
Yes.
not gonna pick Bewitching Morgana. I'm gonna be even worse, because Kitty Cat Katarina is a Halloween skin.
You know, I was about to like. He's not wrong.
Is Battle Bunny Ribbon?
It is not.
No, that is not a Halloween skin.
So if I'm gonna be very honest with you, I would agree with Jake. It's Kitty Cat Katarina. However, if I'm gonna talk about from a design
I didn't even know that
standpoint-
was a Halloween skin because it's old.
Yeah.
Oh, Ghost Nocturne.
That's the original.
Ghost
I
Nocturne.
like Ghost Nocturne.
Fucking racist.
I like Ghost Nocturne. This is a good one. I think my favorite one, though, I like the one I use the most is probably Ravenborn LeBlanc.
I mean, the one I've used the most is, I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's the Nidalee one.
Ah, yes.
Is it Bewitching?
It's Bewitching.
Okay.
God damn it.
Which, is actually the one that I think is closer to Janna's current skin than Bewitching Morgana. Because Bewitching Morgana at least has tasteful cleavage. Janna looks like she's just wearing a sexy witch costume.
She not?
Janna is just wearing a sexy witch costume. But I have hit my 90 minutes with that last little talking point. So, this has been the Sardonic Podcast. I've been your host, Elijah Stubbs Roche. These have been a collection of memes from around the internet. Jake Midas Barker and Tristan D. Laws from GreenOrkzGaming. You can check out their channel, and the links in the descriptions below. They have a new Halloween episode that has me in it, so you should definitely watch it. And that video will also be in the description. What do you guys do at GreenOrkzGaming when I'm not shamelessly plugging for you?
That's really all we do is shamelessly plug ourselves.
Well, there's a lot of shameless plugging, a lot of really poor gameplay, and a metric shit ton of me yelling at Tristan.
There's way too much of it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's not enough of that.
Dude, it's uncomfortable for us who have to go on your show sometimes. Because I feel like I'm walking into like an abusive domestic relationship. Like I'm walking in on a guy beating his wife. And the man who joined us halfway through, he wasn't prepared for today, and neither was I. It is Drew Cheswick Smith. He recently moved. Throw him money because he needs it. He's also really drunk right now, and I thought he'd be a great addition to this episode. I can be wrong too.
Any more alcohol
And
to
what do
fuel
you
my
do,
drunken
Drew
excuse?
Cheswick Smith?
At the moment, nothing.
So, this has been the Sardonic Podcast. Thank you for joining us. Join us again next week, where it will be just me in Stubbs Talks, mostly about anime. That's a lie, actually. Next week's episode is going to be on gaming and critique. So, join us next week for Stubbs Talks. Have a nice evening.